Okay, so welcome back to the third part of today's lesson. I would like to talk a little bit about regular expressions, the topic that was listed here. It's a topic that in ancient courses of mine, sometimes we spent 6 hours on it. So there's a lot to learn about this subject, but I'm not sure how deep you're really going to need it. So it's fine that I'm going to only allocate like 30-40 minutes for it. The main part that I'm interested here is that you'll have at least some understanding of what kind of things this can do. And actually, even this program that we worked on could have benefited from it, at least the original version of it. The new one doesn't really need it anymore. But so I'm going to just write some separate programs where we can benefit from it. So let me just switch to day 9 here, create a we'll see what I'm going to do with. I'm not really sure. So let's try this one. Import. So first, what we're going to do is accept a parameter on the command line. But what the main thing that this regular expression can do is parse text. Okay, analyze text. And so I'm going to show you one thing that the original script didn't do or didn't do properly is the conversion of the parameter to an integer. You remember that the original program, if I gave it something that wasn't an integer, it blew up with an exception because we just called int on it. And the two solutions for that is we'll see the two solutions for that. So that's what we're going to do. Import sys, and then I print, okay, if len sys argv is different from, let's say, just for now, just 2. Okay, we're just going to expect on the parameter, then exit usage sys argv 0 number. This is what we need, and then we need to make it an f string, and then we say that number equal to int of sys argv in the first place. I think this should work. So I'm running it Python and the name of the program. And of course, I am in a window that I haven't stopped. Sorry. There is some connectivity program in my computer. So sometimes the microphone just disconnects, but immediately it connects back, or at least that's what Zoom thinks. So sorry for that. I hope that it got back the microphone. Event bin activate, and I can run now Python regex. Okay, fine. And I can provide it number 2, that works. But if I provide it the text true, then it will blow up. So how can we handle this? And I'm going to edit this thing. And after it, actually, I would like to print out the number. Okay. So again, if I run this with the number 2, it will print out the number 2. Otherwise, it will just blow up. One way to handle this is to say try except exception. And here they say bad thing happened. And in this case, I would say I need also to exit. I mean, maybe I can even call it with this exit. Okay. So now if I run with this number 2, prints out number 2, text 2, it says bad thing happened. Okay, whatever. I mean, I don't really care the detail. It just protected me from the exception I could be, of course, more useful for my user and explain the exact problem, but I don't want to do that for now. Okay, so that's one solution. The other solution is to check whether the input, and this solution is it's good for when we are expecting a number, but it's not very generic. In all kind of other cases, it can't help. For example, if we are expecting a string that at least 3 characters long, or maybe that's not a good example. We're expecting a string that has 2 characters, which are let's say we are expecting a word, okay? A word in English, so a word basically just, okay, so just letters, right? But we want to make sure that the word has 2 letters that are the same, one after the other. So let's say the word loop is good. The word cat is not good because we don't have 2 characters which are the same, okay? And for this we need a different solution. So we're going to deal with that later on. But for now, let's see what is this other solution using regexes for this one. Okay, so instead of this code, I'm going to write some different code. I copy pasted this. And this is going to be what I write. Okay, so I need to, for this, let me go to the slides as well. Code Maven slides. Oh, where are the slides? Here are the slides. Python slides. Okay. Regex. Regular expressions. Okay, so you can see that we have like 3 chapters in the slides, almost 100 slides for this, with longer explanation of why they are used. And here is the example for matching numbers. So we need to import the RE library in order to use regular expressions. And then we can use this one. Let me copy paste this line to check whether there is some number there. So here we say, I don't need this match here. If, okay, sys argv1, okay. And let me do this way, 0 till 9. Let's start with a simple one. If, then, else. Okay, so this function called research looks for a digit in this string. So sys argv1, okay, as we all know, is a string. Even if you type in the number 2, Python sees it's a string. That's why we had to convert it into an integer. So this thing, this research, we look for, in this case, a digit. Now, why is it a digit? This is the regular expression that says match 1 character between the characters 0 and 9. So it's one of the digits between 0 and 9. And this is what we call a character class. Okay, let's try this one. Python regex 2, bad things happened. Number 2 works. Fine, okay? So far it's good. So now we didn't have to check whether the conversion worked, because before we try to do the conversion, we checked whether this string has a digit in it. Okay, something between 0 and 9. Okay, let's try something else. What if I type in 2 cats without a space, okay, or even with a space like this, but then we have to provide it just like this. So, okay, what happens, first of all, what happens if I provide it this way? It tells me that I didn't provide it exactly 1 parameter. Okay, I provided it 2 actually. So I need to put it in quotes, so the space will be part of the parameters. Okay, now it blew up. Why did it blow up? Okay, the int conversion blew up. because my regular expression or regex had a match, okay? So we provided two space cats, and this regular expression just searches whether there is a digit in there or not. And there is a digit, okay? You can also say cat like this, 2 here, okay? Still, there is a digit in there. So this will blow up, this won't work. So what I can do here, and I'm going to try to comment, there is a digit in the string, okay? This one I'm going to improve. So this one commented out. Now I'm saying, I put a hat here, a caret it's called actually, and a $sign here. This means that or matching of the string starts at the beginning of the string, and then there is a digit, and then we reach the end of the string. Okay, so it can't be this one. It says, okay, there is a digit somewhere. Now this one, it says that from the beginning till the end, we explain what everything is in there. So now if I run cat this, it says, okay, this is an incorrect input. Maybe I should, bad things happened. Instead of that, I should say incorrect input, and even put here the sys argv0, and the whole thing should be with an F. That would be slightly more helpful for the user. Okay, incorrect input cat. Even more, I put here quotation marks, so it will stand out. Okay, incorrect input, fine. What is the correct input? What if I put here 2? That looks fine. Even 5 looks fine. What about 42? That's incorrect input. Why is 42 incorrect input? Because here we said start at the beginning of the string, then there is a single digit, and then we have the end of the string. But in the case of 42, there are 2 digits. So this is not good. This one is, there is a digit in somewhere in the string. There is exactly 1 character, and in the string, and it is a digit. This is what was the previous one. Now we would like to say, okay, we can have any number of digits there. So we say, after the closing part of the square bracket, we put a plus sign. You might remember on the arc parts, we also had a plus sign. This is the same idea, basically. This plus sign says that whatever came before it, to the left-hand side of it, meaning a digit can be, this idea of a digit can have 1 or more appearances. So there can be 1 or more digits in there. Okay, let's see this one. 42, fine. 4, fine. Some big number, fine. It has a letter in it, not fine. Okay, so this now says there are 1 or more digits in the string and nothing else. The nothing else is so strong that we can't even say that there is a space there. Okay, so this one, which has a space in there, that's not good enough. Okay. On the other hand, let me try this one. Unicode digits in Arabic. Yeah. Can we find this? No, I want the numbers. I can't type in Arabic. Yeah, okay. So this is supposed to, hopefully I can copy this one. I'm not sure if I can. It has this space now. Oh, no, I didn't like. Okay, whatever. I wanted to show you that. Oh, all right. Oh, sorry. It's my mistake. My mistake. That's really that's actually what I did is good. Okay, my mistake. I'm going to show you what was the story with the Arabic numbers. So this one really says that it has to be a digit between 0 and 9, and therefore, even if it was an Arabic digit, that it didn't like it because it wasn't a digit between 0 and 9. Okay, so but this is good for our solution in the case we had. There is a different solution for this, which looks shorter, but is also incorrect. Let me see why. If I run this with the Arabic digit, now it's fine. Okay, I think that even converted it into the, well, this is also Arabic, but whatever. These are the old Arabic numbers, what everyone uses. Anyway, it converted it into that number 1. Why? Because this \d is representing any digit in the world. Okay, so there are the 0 till 9 digits that we use most of the world for numbers, but then there are digits in some languages there are digits. I mean, even in Hebrew, we use the letters as numbers, but they are not really known that way in the Unicode table. I think they won't be considered numbers. For Arabic, there are the special signs that are considered digits, and so they are numbers. If you go to the grand Unicode table, Unicode digits, I have somewhere in my slides, well, this is the Wikipedia page. You will see that there are various digits somewhere. Okay, yeah, okay. Right, so Greek numbers, okay, anyone? Or Roman numbers, or I don't know, okay? So you could play with this idea. But any Unicode digit, 1 or more Unicode digits. So funnily, or not so, the solution I gave first is the proper solution or the right solution. This one is not so good, assuming that you really want to have these digits that most of the world uses. So let me get back to that one, and that should be fine. Okay. So this is how to get a digit. What if we want to do some more other extraction of these? So wait a second. This what we did is what we call input validation. So we validate the input that we got from the user. In this case, we check whether it's a digit. Now, input validation can happen when we get parameters from the user, but also when you are reading from, let's say, a CSV file or an Excel file. So you have a table in a CSV file, and you expect that the third column will be a number, let's say. So you split up this whole thing, use some tool to read the CSV file, and then you could verify with this tool, okay, whether that third value is always a number, okay? So matches digits, okay? You can do that. Or in any other way, when you get input, it's a good idea, it's a very good idea to validate that the input looks like or is the way that you're expecting it. Whether it's a real number, whether it's in the range that you're expecting, and so on. Because that way you can report to the user if the user didn't provide the proper input, or if you read some data that wasn't correct. And if you keep going with data that's incorrectly formatted, then obviously you will get some strange results, okay? So this is how to get the digits. Now let's think about the loop and the cat, but we can also already make this move, the regex, and call it check number. Okay, check number with regex. So that was one, and the other one is check, let's say, double letters with regex. Okay, so the check number doesn't need this last part, and the check double letters will be different. It will say this is a word that we are expecting. We don't need these, none of them. We are going to have a totally different. We are not converting into, we're just checking it. So we're going to have it word, and we are going to print out the word. So this is going to be a separate example where we are expecting a word, and what we would like to check whether there are two characters which are the same, which is actually a rather advanced example, but let me try to show that this actually works. So yes. Oh, and I didn't say what is this R thing. I'll have to explain. So let's try this one. Python, check double words. Okay, so I need to say a cat, and it's incorrect input because it, well, in this case, it doesn't have. And what if I say cat? That's fine because it has two characters, one after the other, which are the same. So check double letters. So what's going on? First of all, the R, which was also in the previous one. These are strings, but we call them row strings. And why do we need this R? Because in normal strings, the backslash has some meaning, this backslash that I'm pointing out. This is what we call the escape character. And in general, it's good to have, but because in regular expressions, this is a very common character, we would want them to be just backslashes. So they won't have any special meaning by themselves. And this is what this R does. It tells basically Python that backslash is just the backslash, nothing, it doesn't have any special meaning by itself. Okay? So just pass it on to the regular expression engine. In the regex engine, it will understand its special meaning because it has a special meaning for the regex engine, but not for Python. Slightly confusing, but you will have work with it. Now, the dot means match any single character, doesn't matter what. and then the parentheses mean, just remember it. And then this \1 here, now the backslash has a special meaning for the regex, means match whatever the other thing matched. Okay, so the parentheses matched. So basically I say, okay, match something, and then immediately after that, match the same thing. Okay, fine. And then if it matches, then this is the word, otherwise we get incorrect input. So that's how this can, where am I here? Match two characters that are the same. Two characters, one after the other that are the same. Okay, so far so good. Let me check something else that might be fun for you. DNA with regex. Okay, so here it is. Let's get a sequence, and then try this one. So a sequence would be one or more characters. Okay, I don't care. I mean, we could put a. Wait a second. Yep, it is here. Okay, so there is a. This is the fun example. Okay. So we could say that a sequence has one, with the plus saying one or more characters, then dot star means one or more other, zero or more characters. Okay, so star means whatever on his left hand side, zero or more times, and then one again. So what does this mean? This means please match one or more characters. The dot plus. One or more characters. I don't care what character. Obviously, in a DNA sequence, that would be one of these letters, but okay. And the parentheses tell it, okay, just remember it. Then we say, okay, then match zero or more, whatever you like, I don't care. But it can be also zero, okay? And then we say match whatever you matched earlier. So basically means find a subsequence and then later on find the same subsequence again. So we have a sequence and we are looking for a repetition of it. Now we said one or more, so it means that it can be any repetition, even with one letter. Not very interesting, right? In any sequence, in any sequence which has five elements in it, okay, out of the four in a sequence, there will be at least one character twice. It will be way more interesting saying, okay, find the longest subsequence in this DNA or whatever that is repeating itself. Okay, so not just one character, but maybe 10 or 20 characters that's repeating itself. Now, before we get to the longest, we can have something like this, saying 5. Okay, this means with the curly braces, it means find five things, because we are talking about dots, it says whatever we like. Now, of course, maybe it's better if you say here, if we replace the dot with, what are these? GATC. Okay, so these are the valid characters basically, right, that we are using in a sequence. I know that in some cases you will represent the sequence with all kind of other characters as well, X and Y and whatnot, maybe representing garbage or unknown things or whatever. That's fine. So you'll have to decide which is the right way here. But this one says exactly 5 long. And then this dot star means anything beyond that, because star means 0 or more, okay? And the \1 means whatever this pair of parentheses matched, okay, match it again. So let's try to do this. And it's not incorrect, it's just not found in input. And here one is we don't care about the whole thing. We will do this one. Okay, totally different. So here, first I do this matching, and then I say if match, then say match groups, I think 1, if I'm correct. And let's do it with 2 for now. Okay, so it make it easier for me to provide data. So let's try to do this. Python DNA sequence. Okay, so it's expecting a sequence here. So GGAT. Okay, not found in the input. What if I say GGAT? Oh, it found the GG to be repeated, okay, somewhere later on. Okay, of course, if I have put it GA here, it finds that, because that's the one that it can find. Okay, and this one, it just printed out the result. Okay, so this one found me the one with 2 characters in it. If I put here, yeah, okay, actually that's good enough. Okay, let me show you this one. So this one, what it does, it actually, you can see exactly the same regular expression, the same expression that we wrote here, right? So it is exactly the same. Here there's a number, and here this is the number. This one is the same exactly. Okay. Now, so how can you find the longest one? Well, the one way to do this is saying the longest one that is repeating itself. The one way is saying, okay, I first try with 1. Okay, not a big deal, right? If that works, I know that there is at least one, there is a repetition of at least one substring, one long run substring. So then try it with 2. If that succeeds, then I know that I have 2 substrings which are the same, and they're built out of 2 characters. Let's try with 3. If that works, then I know that I have a repetition with something that at least 3 characters long, and so on. And then let's say at 10, it fails. So at 9, it was successful. Okay, I still had one substring that was 9 character long that repeated itself. But by 10, it says I can't find it. So you know that the longest one is the one with the 9 characters. And let me put this example, this link, direct link here in the README. I'm going to put this here. Okay, get the link to the whole regex part. So this code does that. What it does, it takes this regex, builds up this regex, exactly this one, these ones, starting from the length of 1, and then changing this number. Okay, it runs the search that we did with using the regex. So this is a variable where the regex is and the DNA sequence. Okay, whatever. Gets the match. If there was a match, we save it, okay, because that might be the longest one. If there was no match, then we know that the previous match was the longest one. Okay, so when we see the longest one, we don't know that this is the longest. We will only know it when we try one longer and that doesn't match. So this is basically a code, a piece of code that will find you the longest subsequence that repeats itself somewhere. Now you could also play with this further and whatever, search for something that repeats itself at least 3 times, or whatever interesting parts you can do. Okay, and maybe that will try to be the assignment. I don't know. Okay, so we'll see. This is just one example with the regexes. You can go on actually see a lot more about regular expressions. So the thing is that is useful is extracting data and trying to find it. Okay, so extracting data. Let's say you have some text, and you would like to find in the text. You would like to find a phone number, or just a number, or some word. Okay, or those kind of things where you can use regular expressions. So either the first example we had was input validation. And the second example is this DNA sequences or sequences in general was extracting data. On that case, we were extracting the longest sequence, subsequence. But you could extract some, you might have some text, and then you have a phone number there or a sequence or whatever, and you would like to say, oh, I would like to find that one. Okay. That's it. Any questions in the remaining 2 minutes? No? That's also good. So I will take a few minutes to think about some assignment, and you're going to get an assignment. And please don't forget to like the video, or upvote, or thumb up, or whatever is the video, and follow the channel, and submit your project proposal if you haven't done it yet. Look at the others to get an idea of how they did it and what to do. And see you next week.
Thank you.
You're welcome.